Chosen ones, this message you are about to hear is a divine revelation from the throne of heaven. If your eyes are reading this, your spirit was summoned here. This is not coincidence. This is not just content. This is a holy interruption. God Himself led you to this moment, not because you're perfect, but because you're called. And when heaven calls, everything around you begins to shake. This moment is not ordinary. This word is not a suggestion. It is a divine summons, a holy announcement from eternity, reaching into your now, awakening something ancient, something sacred, something eternal. You are not who you were. You are not even who you are. You are who you are becoming, and heaven already sees it. That fire you feel in your belly, that trembling in your chest, that tug that won't let go. That's not emotion. It's destiny calling your name. You feel the shift, even if you can't explain it. You sense the transition, even if you can't see the next step. That's because God isn't speaking to the version of you that's wounded or weary. He's speaking to the version of you that's been hidden, the version that carries the oil, the version that knows how to war in prayer, the version that walks in purity and power, the version that was born for such a time as this. And now, it's time to bring that version of you out of hiding. No more waiting for permission. No more playing small to make others comfortable. No more delaying destiny because of fear or false identity. This is the hour to rise, to speak, to move, to obey, to align. God is calling forth the real you, the fire-branded, blood-covered, spirit-led, kingdom-commissioned version of you that hell tried to stop but couldn't destroy. The earth is groaning for the sons and daughters of God to be revealed. And now, it's your turn. Before we go any further, if this message is stirring something deep within you, take a moment to like this video. If you felt God drawing you closer in this season, hit subscribe and stay connected. And don't stay silent. Drop your city and your local time in the comments. Let's watch the remnant rise from every corner of the earth. To every faithful giver using the link pinned in the comment section or super thanks feature, your offering is more than generosity. It's spiritual agreement. You're not just sowing money, you're sowing surrender. You're saying, God, I align with your will. And because of that, expect the covering of heaven, supernatural clarity, and the strength to walk boldly through whatever comes next. Let go deeper. Before you can understand who you are becoming, you must first grasp who you are. This is not just a motivational phrase, it is spiritual truth. Identity precedes destiny. Formation precedes fulfillment. And until you learn to see yourself through the eyes of your Creator, you will keep questioning the worth of your journey. You must unlearn the labels life gave you and return to the name heaven wrote over you. That is why this moment matters, because this is where the revelation begins. Let me teach you like you're reading your first book, step by step, word by word, line upon line. This is not just a lesson, it's a recovery mission. We're digging beneath the rubble of insecurity, shame, rejection, and fear to rediscover what has been true about you since before time began. This is not a new idea. This is an ancient truth awakening inside of you. You are not being redefined. You are being restored to your original design. 1. You were known before you were born. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. Let's slow this down and let every word land. Before I formed you, that means God personally designed you. Every cell, every talent, every flaw that would become fuel for purpose. You were not random. You are not a mistake. I knew you. Before the world saw your face, heaven saw your spirit. God didn't just know what you'd look like, He knew what you would carry. I set you apart. You were marked before you had a name. You were chosen before you knew how to choose, and even now, under all your confusion and pressure, you are still chosen. Chosen one, listen carefully. Your calling is older than your confusion. Your assignment is louder than your insecurity. Your identity is more permanent than your pain. Even if life lied to you, even if people mislabeled you, even if trauma tried to bury you in silence, none of it changed what God wrote in eternity about you. The scars on your life are not signs of failure. They are signs that hell tried to stop you early. But you're still here. You're still breathing, which means you're still becoming. And heaven is still watching over the original blueprint. So let's ask honestly, what does becoming feel like? The answer might surprise you. Becoming doesn't always feel powerful. It doesn't always feel prophetic. It doesn't always feel glorious. Most of the time, it feels like pressure. It feels like being hidden while others are seen. It feels like waiting while others are celebrated. It feels like praying into silence and walking in circles. But that pressure is not punishment. It's preparation. What you are becoming is far weightier than what you are feeling. You may feel buried. You may feel like nothing is changing, like your obedience isn't producing results, like no one sees the effort, like your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, like your purpose is delayed, like you're stuck in a fog with no clarity or confirmation. But I need you to hear this like a child learning ABCs. You are not buried, you are planted. Jesus said in John chapter 12 verse 24, "Unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much fruit." There is a difference between a grave and a garden. A buried body is forgotten. A planted seed is watched. What feels like isolation is actually incubation. You are being prepared in the dark for what you will carry in the light. Seeds don't grow by staying visible, they grow by surrendering to the unseen. And that's what you're doing. The silence doesn't mean absence. The delay doesn't mean denial. The dark season doesn't mean death. It means God is doing His deepest work in secret. Why does it feel like everything is falling apart? Because the forming always feels like the opposite of the promise. Let that truth settle deep into your spirit. The forming always feels like the opposite of the future God spoke. That's how heaven writes stories. The process contradicts the prophecy until suddenly it fulfills it. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. When a caterpillar enters its cocoon, it doesn't simply rest, it dissolves. It breaks down into liquid, losing all familiar form. It becomes unrecognizable, even to itself. And maybe that's what your current season feels like you're losing grip on your identity, your certainty, your direction. But listen to this prophetic truth. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. Your old form is dissolving so your wings can be born. Your old limitations are being stripped so your new capacity can rise. You are not dying, you are being transformed. So do not fear the dark place. Do not resist the hiddenness. Heaven often hides what it treasures most. The cocoon is not your prison, it's your passage. And the breaking, that's not the end of you. That's the beginning of birth. Just like a baby pushes through the pressure to enter a new world, you are pushing through divine resistance that will deliver you into a season you were born for. Hold still, trust the breaking, because when this moment opens, you will fly. Let me teach this to your soul like you're learning to walk. God is not looking at you the way you see yourself in the mirror. While you're busy focusing on flaws, failures, and fears, God is looking at the version of you He already finished in eternity. He sees the end from the beginning. He sees the masterpiece beneath the mess. You see the struggle, but He sees the soldier. You see the weakness, but He sees the warrior. You see delay, but He sees destiny. That's why 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18 declares, "We are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory." Read that slowly. You are not being shaped into a slightly improved version of your past. You are being transformed into his likeness. This isn't about becoming better. This is about becoming like Christ. God sees you like a sculptor sees a statue hidden in stone. He chips away what doesn't belong, not because he's mad at you, but because he sees more in you. He's not shocked by the mess. He's not overwhelmed by your mistakes. He's not intimidated by your fears. He's not pacing heaven worried if you'll make it. Why? Because he already sees the finished product, the version of you that emerges from this trial walking with fire, the version of you that doesn't flinch when storms hit, the version of you that knows how to war in prayer, the version of you that walks into rooms and brings peace, the version of you that carries kingdom solutions, speaks with clarity, and moves with divine confidence. So don't panic when things feel unfinished. Heaven isn't panicking. Heaven is announcing your transformation. You are not stuck. You are still becoming. You are not falling apart. You are being put together from the inside out. This season isn't about punishment. It's about preparation. You are not who you were, and you're not yet who you're becoming. But what's certain is this: God is faithful to finish what he started, and he will not stop until you look like the image he saw before you ever took your first breath. Let that truth wrap around your soul. You are being transformed with ever-increasing glory. Let me expose a spiritual truth like you've never heard it before. Satan doesn't waste attacks. He doesn't fight what isn't a threat. He doesn't pour out hell's resources on people who pose no danger to darkness. He fights the becoming. He targets the anointing before it's fully visible. That's why the intensity of your warfare often feels out of proportion to your current reality, because it's not about where you are, it's about where you're going. The battle over your life is not based on your present. It's a reaction to your potential. And if the enemy is investing that much effort to stop you, it's because heaven has already marked you for something far greater than what you can see right now. Consider this. Herod tried to kill Jesus while he was still a baby. Pharaoh tried to destroy Moses the moment he was born. These were not attacks on mature ministry. They were preemptive strikes against prophetic destiny. Why? Because the enemy always tries to attack early, before the glory is public. He moves in when the promise is still fragile. He strikes while you're still forming, because if he can disrupt the development, he can delay the deployment. But what the enemy forgets is that you were already chosen before the war began, and the attacks you're facing right now are not proof that you're weak. They are evidence that you're dangerous. If you're under fire, it's because something heaven-sized is growing in you. The enemy sees the shift, even if you can't. He smells the oil, even if you're still doubting. He senses the divine unveiling coming, and he's panicking. But here is the prophetic truth. He's too late. What God started in you, he intends to finish. No weapon formed will prosper. No lie whispered will stick. No delay imposed will derail your destiny. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 says it clearly. He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. And if heaven has spoken it, not even hell can cancel it. Keep standing. You're not being destroyed, you're being revealed. Here's a truth that will set your mind on fire. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming who you were all along. This isn't reinvention, it's revelation. It's not about becoming a better version of yourself. It's about uncovering the original version God saw when he first thought of you. He's not crafting a new identity. He's rescuing the one the world tried to bury. Every trial, every delay, every spiritual confrontation has been heaven's way of pulling back the layers that life placed on top of your divine design. What you're feeling now isn't confusion, it's exposure. What's being removed isn't you, It's the false version of you that fear, shame, and trauma built. God is stripping away everything that does not align with who He said you are. He's removing fear that paralyzed you. He's tearing down shame that made you shrink. He's breaking the rejection that tried to define you. He's silencing comparison that told you you're behind. He's confronting religious performance that said you had to earn His love. And He's crushing people-pleasing that made you edit yourself to be accepted. Why? Because underneath all of that is someone holy, someone royal, someone chosen. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. That's not just a beautiful verse. It's a legal declaration written in heaven about you. Chosen one. Hear this clearly. You are not weak. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are not a mistake. You are heaven's strategy for this generation. You are God's response to a broken world. You are the light sent into a dark age. And the moment you start seeing yourself the way God already sees you, everything shifts, confidence rises, clarity returns, fire falls, the enemy's grip loosens. Because when identity is restored, authority is activated. You're not waiting to become something great. You already are. Now it's time to walk in it. Let's go practical. Because revelation without action leads to frustration. Now that you know who you're becoming, what should you do with that truth? It's time to stop sabotaging your own transformation with words that don't align with heaven. 6. Stop speaking against your own becoming. Every time you say, "I'm not good enough," "I'm too late," or "I'm just not like them," you are echoing the enemy's accusations, not God's affirmations. Words are spiritual tools. What you speak either builds your identity or breaks it. So speak what heaven speaks. Say, "I am chosen, I am called, I am appointed for this hour. I am becoming what God declared before I was born." Your words are not empty, they are prophetic alignment. Speak life, speak future, speak truth. 7. Walk like you're becoming. Becoming isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about obeying while you're still unsure. You don't wait to feel ready. You move forward in faith and let confidence rise as you go. Begin to pray like the version of you God sees, bold, surrendered, and confident. Begin to think like the version of you God sees, renewed, clear, and focused. Begin to move like the version of you God sees, decisive, humble, and full of fire. You're not pretending, you're aligning, you're walking by faith, not by what you feel. And Romans chapter 1 verse 17 says it clearly, "The just shall live by faith." This is not about being fake, it's about being faithful. Faith is not a feeling, it is a decision to agree with God. It is a daily yes to what God has already declared. Even when the mirror doesn't reflect it yet, even when your environment doesn't confirm it yet. Faith says, if God said it, I'll believe it, and I'll behave like it's true. That's how you walk in transformation, not by trying harder, but by agreeing deeper, not by striving in the flesh, but by surrendering in the spirit. You don't have to force the becoming, you just have to follow the voice of the one shaping you. Keep speaking truth, keep stepping forward, because what you are becoming is already written in heaven, and every obedient step brings it into view. Let me prophesy directly to your spirit, not your fear, not your doubt, but to the deep place inside you that still believes. You are about to become everything God whispered over you in secret. The process may have been long, the pain may have felt personal, but the unveiling will be public. Heaven didn't forget you. Heaven has been preparing you. And now, the moment of divine emergence is near. Get ready, because what's coming out of you will not match what tried to bury you. The glory will not fit the grave. The oil will not stay hidden. The calling will no longer be silent. You are about to become a voice of clarity in a world of noise, a light in places of darkness, a breaker of chains in your bloodline, a carrier of divine solutions, a vessel of glory, a pioneer in your generation, a walking testimony of resurrection power, a name heaven trusts and hell fears. You will walk into rooms and atmospheres will shift. You will speak and hearts will awaken. You will obey and mountains will move. You are about to shock people who thought they knew you, because they only saw the cocoon, not the wings. You are not rising by chance. You are rising by alignment. You are not being promoted by man. You are being unveiled by heaven, and nothing on earth or in hell can stop what God has already written in his eternal book. So stand tall, chosen one, don't flinch, don't shrink. What's coming through you is proof that God is still speaking, still raising warriors, still rewriting stories, and you are one of them. Chosen one, it's time to step into the fire of who you are. No more hiding, no more shrinking, no more second-guessing the mantle on your life. Heaven has already confirmed it. Hell has already tried to crush it. And now, the earth is about to witness it. You have walked through pressure, silence, pruning, and pain. But you're still here. Not because you're strong, but because you're marked. 1 John chapter 3 verse 2 says it clearly. Beloved, now we are children of God, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be, but we know we shall be like him. Let those words burn in your spirit. You shall be like him. That's your destiny. That's your DNA. And no power in hell can erase what God already ordained. You are about to become what hell feared. You are about to become what your bloodline fasted and cried for. You are about to become what trauma tried to shut down. You are about to become what God saw before the world began. This is not hype. This is heaven's reality. This moment you're in is not the end. It's the unveiling, the revealing, the emergence, the prophetic unfolding of everything that's been growing in secret. So walk boldly, speak boldly, live boldly, not in arrogance, but in authority, not in performance, but in position. You are not just called, you are activated. This is who you are about to become, and heaven already sees it. Your obedience is unlocking it. Your surrender is accelerating it. Your agreement is aligning it. The time for doubting is over. The time for shrinking is gone. Step forward with fire in your bones and purpose in your eyes, because the world is about to see the version of you that has always existed in the heart of God. Amen.